The power-hungry last.
Empress Wandi Kudu of the Yuan Shun Emperor Tuoquan Tiemur.
Empress Wandi Kudu, surname Qi, came from a poor and humble family in Goryeo. At that time, Goryeo was a vassal state of the Yuan dynasty,
and every year it contributed many beautiful women to the imperial court to serve as courtesans and maidservants.
When Emperor Shun, the last emperor of the Yuan dynasty, came to the throne, there were many servant girls from Goryeo in the palace, and Wandi Kudu was one of them. Initially, she only made tea and served food to Emperor Shun.
Because she is beautiful, intelligent, clever, and good to accept, she quickly won the heart of the Shun Emperor and became the most
favored servant girl in the palace, all day long with the Shun Emperor at ear, like glue.
As a result, the end of Kudu gradually pregnant, surprisingly, for the emperor gave birth to a boy.
The Shun Emperor loved the boy so much that he named him Ayusili Dara. As the mother's son became more important to her, Wandi Kudu became more valuable. And with her change in status, her ambition swelled, and she began to covet the empress's throne.
Yuan Shun Emperor at the beginning of the throne, to consolidate their position.
The Dowager of the three dynasties of the authority of the Budu Luli and the domination of the dynasty's influential minister Yan Timur obedience. In the arrangements, Empress Dowager married Yan Timur's daughter Dana Luli as empress. Tanasuri, proud of her family's power, did not take the young emperor seriously and was arrogant.
Therefore, Emperor Shun did not like the empress but still favored her.
The emperor was not fond of the empress but still favored the Wandi Kudu. The emperor often used the empress' position to suppress the Wandi Kudu and even found Deng to beat the Wandi Kudu severely.
Although she had a belly full of grievances, she was good at planning.
She hid all kinds of grudges deep in her heart, ready to wait
for the opportunity to take advantage of the Shun Emperor's love to replace him. After Shun Emperor took the throne, he wanted to reform the government and make changes. After the death of Yan Timur, he quickly chose his satisfaction. Yuan appointed him as a Taiship, the right prime minister of the central book, supervised the revision of the state history, and soon to be crowned as the king of Qin.
The power of Yuan surpassed that of the descendants of Yan Timur.
For this reason, Yan Timur's eldest son, Tang Chize, joined his brother Dara Hai.
Uncle Dali conspired to launch a coup, wanting to abolish the Shun Emperor to Huan Thima, Yan Tesiguchi, as emperor.
The coup failed because of the leakage of information.
Boyan killed the Tang Chize brothers in front of the emperor,
abolished the Empress of Tana Lunary, and forced her to drink poisonous wine and cut herself. After the death of Tanasuri, Emperor Shun wanted to make Wandi Kudu the empress, but he was firmly opposed by Yuan, who thought that Wandi Kudu was a woman from Goryeo, and she was from a humble background, so she should not be the empress. He thought that she was a Goryeo woman with a lowly background,
and was not thought that she was a Goryeo woman with a lowly background, and was not worthy of the position in the central palace.
The Shun Emperor had to appoint Yuan as the empress.
The emperor had no choice but to make Yuan Kudu his empress. He hated Yuan and tried to get rid of him immediately, but always tried to slander him. After killing Tang Chiz, Yuan became powerful, bold and evil, which caused the Shun Emperor's dissatisfaction. 1340 Emperor Shun dismissed Boyan from exile, and Boyan died in Longsheng Road. The death of Yuan, a powerful minister, cleared the way for Kudu to seize the empress's position. Empress Yuan Kudu was frugal, following the rules and regulations, tolerant and generous. She did not compete with Wandi Kudu for favor after Yuan's dismissal.
Wandi Kudu secretly discussed with the sycophant Shijiban wanting to take advantage of the opportunity to be promoted to empress.
Shijiban devised a plan to ask the Shun Emperor to make her the empress. This was just what the Shun Emperor wanted, and he immediately appointed Wandi Kudu as the second empress.
Living in the Xingsheng Palace, and was called the Empress of Xingsheng Palace.
After Wandi Kudu was made queen, her family prospered. Each of the descendants of the Qi clan had a high official position. They were very prosperous, and they did a lot of evil things. They had no control over Goryeo, were very arrogant, and instigated their family slaves to take away other people's wives. They seized other people's land with their power, which made all the people feel discontent and made the whole country feel uneasy. Moreover, the Qi clan also party camping, trying to take the king of Goryeo and replace it. Goryeo King Yuan Tiemur, because the way the face of the Queen of Qi has been tolerated this time is intolerable.
Snatched at the Qi brothers before the difficulty and sent troops to Qi after all the family people were killed. After hearing the bad news, Empress Qi asked Emperor Shun to abolish the throne of Yuan Tiemur. She set up the younger brother of Yuan Tiemur in the capital, tasked Tiemur as the king,
and the son of the Qi family, Sun Bao, as the prince to inherit the throne of Goryeo in the future.
Then he sent Cui Tiemur, the Prime Minister of the Privy Council, to escort them back to the country with an army of more than 10,000 men.
However, the king of Goryeo had already prepared for this and sent an elite troop to ambush the Yalu River. When the Yuan army entered the encirclement circle, the Goryeo army stormed and killed them from all sides, and the Yuan army was caught by surprise and collapsed, and only 17 knights survived. Only 17 knights survived. This incident gave Empress Wandi Kudu a significant blow and finally killed her arrogance.
Duoger, who Emperor Shun of Yuan reused, abolished Boyan's old rule, implemented the rehabilitation, and restored the imperial examination system, de-exing the state scholarship college, selecting Confucian scholars to give lectures, opening the horse ban, reducing the amount of salt, and remitting the burden of absconding,
and revising the 3 histories and the new forms of the most honored forms, which was a series of measures to rescue the society from the crisis. But later, Tuoquan was falsely accused by Bei Yimobuhua and was deported to Ganzhou present-day Zhangjia, Gansu.
Empress Qi told Emperor Shun, Tuoquan is a wise minister.
It is not appropriate for him to be deposed. Emperor Shun immediately ordered the recall of Tuoquan and reappointed him as the right prime minister.
Tuoquan was reappointed as the right prime minister. After his return, Tuoquan helped to correct the wrongs of the times.
But due to the appointment of the sycophants Hama and Shuexu, Tuoquan's ambition still needs to be realized.
At the end of the reign of the Shun Emperor, natural and man-made disasters occurred, and the peasants revolted one after another.
Han Shentong and Liu Futong revolted in Yingzhou present-day Fuyang. Anhui Province, Shu Shui and Peng Yingyu revolted in Shanzhou present-day Shenzhen, Hubei Province, and Guozixing and Zhu Yuanjiang revolted in Haozhou present-day Dongzhongle, Fenjiang Province. The most powerful one, Zhang Xixing, established a regime in Gaoyu, Jiangsu Province, and called himself King Cheng, with the state name of Dowager, which became a great danger to the Yuan dynasty.
In the 6th month of the 13th year of the reign, 1353, Emperor Shun appointed Isili Dara as the crown prince.
When Tuoquan led his troops to Gaoyu, Empress Qi, the crown prince, and Hama, instructed the royal inspectors to impeach Tuoquan for laboring and spending money. In September of the 14th year of the reign of Emperor Yijing 1354, Tuoquan led all the troops and horses to attack Gaoyu in person.
He was ordered to command the armies of all the kings and provinces.
He mobilized the armies of the western regions and provinces to help him in the battle, which was called an army of 1 million.
The Yuan army besieged Gaoyu for over 3 months, and Zhang Xixing's army began discussing surrendering matters.
At this very moment, Emperor Shun suddenly issued a decree to dismiss Tuoquan, which drastically changed the whole war situation. What was the reason for this? It turned out that Tuoquan was at odds with the left prime minister of the Central Committee, Hama. He and Hama conspired to make her son, Isili Dara, the crown prince, but Tuoquan was against it.
Qi, who had been favorably disposed towards Datu, was furious that Empress Kudu and Hama were responsible for Datu's dismissal, and the dim Shun Emperor had already on many times to admonish his extravagance and lustful Tuoquan dissatisfaction.
This time to push the boat, ordered to take away Tuoquan's military power and official title.
And Tuoquan migrated to the west of the Yunnan Dali town. Later, Hama sent someone to kill Tuoquan with medicine and wine.
Emperor Shun changed the left prime minister of Hunan province, Taibua. The Chinese book Pingzhongyuequo Chea.
Now, the secret service Shuexu instead of Duoder to lead the army. Due to the change of commanders, the Yuan army was in an uproar, and millions of troops were dispersed for a while.
Zhang Xixing took the opportunity to attack and defeat the Yuan army.
From then on, the Yuan army lost its superiority over the peasants' insurgents, and had to rely on the landlords' armies to suppress the peasants' insurgents. The Peasants' War at the end of the Yuan dynasty entered a new period. The Crown Prince was very anxious to see that the situation was getting more and more difficult, due to the rising of all kinds of conflicts, while his father, Emperor Shun, was indulging in wine and sex and ignoring the government.
Emperor Shun killed Hama for advocating internal abdication. However, Empress Wandi Kudu was still reluctant to support the Crown Prince to force Emperor Shun to abdicate the throne.
Empress Wandi Kudu instructed her eunuch Park Buhua to negotiate with Taiping, but Taiping refused to answer. Empress Wandi Kudu and the Crown Prince had a grudge against Taiping and tried to have him killed. After the death of Taiping, Thrust's supervisor took over the power,
and he conspired with the eunuch Park Buhua both internally and externally, and followed the will of Empress Wandi Kudu to control the government,
exclude the dissidents, and brutalize the ministers, which rapidly pushed the faltering Yuan dynasty to the end of the road. After the death of Empress Biography Kudu, the Central Committee requested Empress Wandi Kudu to take up the position of Empress in the Imperial Palace.
But the Shun Emperor,
because she twice forced the palace, the heart of the resentment, to the end of the Kudu Isgaraya people, set up as a queen, is against the ancestral system for the reason not to agree. Only after repeated pleas from the ministers, in December of the 25th year of the reign 1365,
Emperor Shunde named Empress Qi as the Empress of the palace, and at the same time, he named Qi's father as the king of the 3 generations above. At the same time, the Qi clan changed its name to the Sulianga clan, which was considered to be a descendant of the Mongols. With the establishment of Kudu, her mother and son became even more powerful. At this time, the only potent force that could fight the peasants' insurgent army was Jangkok Tiemur. Shun Emperor appointed him as the left prime minister, plus the title of the minister. The general control of Guan, Shanxi, Jin, Hebei, Shandong and other military places.
Because of the gap between the expansion of the Gu Tiemur and the end of the Kudu, the latter to the Shun Emperor's slander,
the Shun Emperor withdrew the military power of the expansion of the Gu Tiemur.
In short, she messed up the Yuan dynasty, and the capable ministers fell one after another. The Peng and Muscles fought for each other, and the fishermen benefited.
Zhu Yuanzhang, the king of Wu, who occupied the area of Jiangsu and Zhejiang, took the opportunity to expand his power. In the spring of 1368, Zhu Yuanzhang appointed Chu Da as the general of conquering the captives and led his army on the northern expedition, which was so successful that he conquered Dezhou and Tongzhou in succession and then pointed to the capital city. At the end of July, Emperor Shunde fled to Kaiping, the capital, with his queen and crown prince. Soon after, Emperor Shunde fell ill and died, and Empress Wandi Kudu did not know what happened to her.